Alright, day 29, the first day of summer. A new season full of opportunity. Let's make the most of it. I begin by clearing out my field of old crops in preparation for the new seeds that will be planted later on. Speaking of which, it's off to Piri the Platypus to buy 5 of each summer seed, 10 wheat seeds, 50 corn seeds, and around 200 melon seeds. The melon seeds will be our money maker. We need 10 wheat for the community centre and we need 5 gold star melons and corn for the community centre too. I return to the farm to plant all of my seeds. It takes quite a while, but I managed to get everything except the corn seeds planted and watered. I spend the rest of the day in the mines collecting iron ore so we can make more quality sprinklers. Clint sends us our copper axe on day 30. Also, the mail services mod is officially a banger of a mod. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough, this mod has made working on my friendships with the villagers so much easier. If the creator of this mod is watching this video, thank you. You have made my life so much better. Now it is time for a loot box opening. The first loot box contains an artifact and 16 pepper seeds. We're starting off well, that is delightful to see. Also, somebody has broken a loot box. If I catch the person that did this, I'm going to turn all of their socks inside out to slightly inconvenience them. I'm not playing around here. We are still able to pick up the items though, which I am very thankful for because one of those items is a nautilus shell which we need for the community centre. We get blueberry seeds and an artifact in the next loot box, which has become somewhat of a trend so far. I head to the beach where a cutscene with Alex plays. I tried to watch this cutscene, but I could not take my eyes off the loot box in the middle of the beach. So I ended up skipping the cutscene because I was way too excited. This one contained another ancient seed. I donate a mineral to the museum, then I receive Alex's bat. Ordinarily, this isn't obtainable, so it's pretty cool that the mod adds items like this to the loot boxes. Next, we receive a radioactive ore and another ancient seed. Again, this is a really good find. We need to ship a radioactive ore for the shipping collection, and ancient seeds are always welcome. Our good luck gets even better as we find a void egg. When I build a coop and upgrade it twice, I can put this egg into the incubator and a void chicken will hatch from it. I return to the farm to make yet another chest and empty my inventory. I also open a loot box on the farm which provides us with a bee house. We have been getting some really useful items today. I am over the moon with how this has gone. As always, we finish our loot box run with a trip around the forest. Again, we are getting really lucky here. I pick up a keg and red cabbage seeds almost immediately. I also get 2 wilted bouquets which I'm never going to use. In case anyone doesn't know, you can give the wilted bouquet to a villager in order to break up with them. That isn't something I'm ever going to do because I'm going to ask Krobus to be my roommate instead of romancing a villager. I am simply not interested in any of them. And Krobus is like really cool, so it's an easy choice to make, really. Back on the farm, I make quite a few more quality sprinklers and get to work on planting all of the seeds I can. This includes the 50 corn seeds I bought yesterday. I did not have time to water any of the new seeds, but that's not really a big deal. At the beginning of day 31, I clear a path to a loot box on the farm. I receive amaranth seeds and a gold I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. It's a big light thingy. I don't know how, I can't say that word. Up at the train tracks, I receive some forage items and a pepper. Again, I don't really mind getting things like these. I can give them to the villagers or just sell them eventually. I don't know why, but I've kept like 95% of the items I've collected during this playthrough so far. I should probably sell them at some point. Anyway, I collect some fruit in the bat cave, then it's off to the community centre to donate a bunch of items. I cannot describe how good it feels being able to donate all of these items this early. I head back to the farm to throw some new items into the shipping bin, then it's off to the beach where I spend the rest of the day fishing. On day 32, I continue the fishing expedition. I begin in the forest, then I move up to the mountain lake. I've already missed the legend fish, so I really don't want to miss any other fish. I head to floor 20 of the mines where I catch a ghost fish and a stonefish, then I move down to floor 60 and catch the ice pip. Finally, it's off to floor 100 where I capture the lava eel. I'm gonna be honest, I did not think that would go as well as it did. We caught all of the fish you can catch in the mines without any hassle at all, really. I am feeling absolutely sterling right now. I set up my crab pots at the town river again, hopefully nobody destroys the chest this time. Then I head to the saloon. Emily asks me if I believe in fate. Honestly, the answers you can give here are very extreme. I'm sort of in between the first two answers really. I think for the most part we definitely do have full control over our lives, but I also think that fate is a real thing. Like a beautiful thing too, because the way I view fate is like an entirely positive thing. Like, have you ever had a moment where you thought to yourself, I have no idea how I got so lucky and ended up in this position? Like, for all intents and purposes, I should not be in this position right now, where I've got this good thing or this amazing person in my life. Yeah, it's moments like that that make me believe that fate is real. Moments where something that you never could have imagined happening has happened. Like, against all odds, it has happened. It is real and it makes you the happiest you've ever been. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I got a bit carried away there. My apologies. Let's move on. Day 33 is a day filled with monkey shines. I had no idea that was a word until someone in the comment section mentioned it. Shout out to that person because that is a phenomenal word. I love it so much already. I begin by harvesting some wheat, which also provides us with hay. I head to the travelling cart where things we need for the shipping collection are being sold, but I'm not in a rush to get them, so I'll just save my money for now. I do purchase a common mushroom for the community centre though. I chop down some trees, then I grab the chair from my house. I return to the forest and use this chair to get into the secret woods without breaking the log in front of the entrance. I did this to see if loot boxes can spawn in the secret woods, and it turns out they can. I did it for the sake of science, basically. That's my excuse. I also used this as an opportunity to get some hardwood and catch the wood skip. I head to the beach and repair the broken bridge using 300 pieces of wood. This unlocks the tide pool area. There are 3 benefits associated with this. Number 1, we can collect forage items here. Number 2, the crimson fish can only be caught in this area. And number 3, I assume loot boxes can spawn here, so now we can actually get to those in the future. I head to the saloon and talk to all of the villagers there, then I donate the wood skip to the community centre. Our hot peppers are ready for harvest on day 34. I donate some artifacts to the museum, check on my crab pots, and ask Clint to crack open some geodes. I donate several items to the museum, receive 9 pumpkin seeds as a reward, and head to Willie's shop where I don't buy anything because he is not there. That is disappointing. I wanted to buy the lead bobber before I tried to catch the crimson fish. Regardless, I make my way over to the area the crimson fish spawns in and completely and utterly fail to catch it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was one of the worst attempts I've ever made at catching a fish. I bump into William as I leave the beach and I can't stay mad at him. This is the first time he has ever let me down, so we're good. No hard feelings. It is what it is. I do a bit of fishing to catch a dorado. I'm very happy about that, very happy indeed. On day 35, you will notice that my bank account is looking nice and juicy. That is because I finally convinced myself to sell some of the items I've been keeping. Not a lot though. I'm still working on fixing my habit of keeping literally everything I find, just in case I need it in the future. I head to Robin's and ask her to build a coop for us. After leaving Robin's, I turn around and go back into her shop, purchase 50 wood, and use it to make a chest. I buy some bait and 2 crab pots from Willie and set them up at the beach. And that's all I did today. For some reason, I must have been feeling incredibly lazy. I harvest an ancient fruit and some poppies on day 36. I believe that is the first ancient fruit we have harvested, which is always a big moment for me in every playthrough. I send a diamond to Gus for his birthday because, well, it's Gus. Like, he's just a really good person and deserves a nice birthday present. There's no other reason. I donate a chicken statue to the museum, then I spend the rest of the day in the mines collecting iron and gold ore. Gustavo visits us on day 37 and gives us the mini jukebox. I am absolutely elated right now. I love the mini jukebox so much. Our red cabbage is ready for harvest, which makes me even happier. Normally I end up getting red cabbage seeds from the travelling cart around the end of fall and donate the red cabbage to the community centre during winter, so this is a very nice change. I receive some lovely items from the loot boxes in the town centre. ginger, a seed maker, an oil maker, starfruit seeds, an artifact. And those 4 loot boxes were really, really close to each other too. I had a feeling summer was going to be a good season for us, but it has completely surpassed any and all expectations I had. And it's only the 9th day of summer too. There's still plenty of time left. I put an ancient fruit into a seed maker and continue opening loot boxes. I'm actually going to drive myself crazy with how often I say the word loot box, but I have to keep saying it. I have to commit to the bit. If I stop saying loot box, then I might as well end the playthrough right now because of how disappointed I will be in myself for not having the strength to keep saying it. I make a few donations to the community center, then I continue opening loot boxes. Okay, at this point I would like to apologize if anyone is getting annoyed with me saying loot box over and over again, but I can't stop now. I get a radioactive stone in a loot box. I don't know what to do with this. I was hoping I would be able to place it on the ground and break it to get some radioactive ore, but nope. I just have a big lump of radioactive stone. I collect some roe, which is good. I need to ship that. Our final loot box of the day contains the fossilized leg, which will come in handy on Ginger Island. Day 38. I donate a bottle of wine to the community center and a dwarf scroll to the museum. That is 3 of the 4 scrolls donated. 1 more and we will be able to talk to the dwarf and become their friend. I ask Clint to crack open some geodes, make some more donations to the museum, and spend the rest of the day in the mines. As you may have guessed, I collected iron and gold ore. Our summer spangles are ready for harvest on day 39. I love these flowers, they're very pretty. Also, today is when the luau takes place. I add a gold star ice pip to the soup and spend some time interacting with the villagers. You know, because I care about them all just so much. It's totally not because I'm just trying to get maximum hearts with everyone as soon as I can. Okay, no, yeah, it is. That's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, not important. The ice pip gets us the best reaction from the governor, which means we get even more friendship points with the villagers. Day 40 is hops, tomatoes and peppers collection day. It looks like our melons will be ready tomorrow too, so things are going pretty nicely for us, which is, you know, nice. I visit the traveling cart, purchase absolutely nothing, then go to bed so I can go to... That's not even funny. Then I go to bed so I can skip to tomorrow and harvest my melons. Speaking of, on day 41 I harvest my melons. It felt so good harvesting all of them. I need to buy more, like 500 more, at least. I donate a melon and 5 gold star melons to the community center, then I sell the rest to Pierre. I use our newfound fortune to purchase an apple tree sapling and 500 melon seeds. I love this game so much. When things go well, it's like having a constant stream of happiness flowing through my body. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop, donate a couple of items to the community center, plant my apple tree sapling and make quality sprinklers. I spend the rest of the day planting my melon seeds. Thankfully I managed to get all of them planted before the day ends. And because it's raining, I didn't even have to water them. I am having too much good luck right now. I'm suspicious. Normally that means bad things are about to happen, but you know what, I'm a different person now. I'm going to embrace this good luck and hope it continues. In fact, no. I'm not going to hope it continues. I know it's going to continue. I am manifesting it. I donate a blueberry to the community center on day 42. I purchased the iridium rod from Willy so I can attach the lead bobber to it. And now, it is vengeance time. The crimson fish embarrassed me the last time I tried to catch it, but this time the exact same thing happened. Also, my first lead bobber was entirely used up, so I went to attach the second one to my fishing rod and it wasn't in my inventory. This was quite the kerfuffle. No need to panic though, because it turns out I put it into the chest beside my crab pots by mistake. What can I say? Once a scallywag, always a scallywag. I buy another lead bobber just to be safe and prepare for battle once more. To the surprise of absolutely everybody, including myself, I actually caught the crimson fish. If there was an award for the best Stardew Valley player of all time, I would not win it. But I feel like I would be one of the nominees. Actually, no, I wouldn't. It took me like 4 in-game years to achieve perfection without mods. I don't know where I'm going with this. If I'm being completely honest, I've actually just hurt my own feelings. I feel pretty sad right now. I throw a green bean and a blackberry into kegs before I go to bed. Day 43 is spent clearing space on the farm. I can already tell I'm going to end up using the few bombs I have to take down some trees at some point because I'm too lazy to chop them all down myself. Day 44 is Lootbox Day. We get tea leaves in the first one. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, nice. We need that for the shipping collection. Also, I find pineapple seeds in another loot box. This takes some of the pressure off us because now we don't have to rely on finding them on Ginger Island in order to complete the shipping collection. Also, I've been thinking about how the items in the loot boxes might not be useful after we complete the community center and the museum. I believe what I'm going to do is, when I complete 2 of my goals, I will change the settings of the loot boxes. I will increase the maximum amount. I don't know if I can say those 2 words together. It might be physically impossible for me to do it. I'm going to take it really slow, and we're going to see what happens. I will increase the maximum amount of items. Oh, I did it! In a loot box by 1, increase the amount of gold we get from each loot box, and increase the probability of getting a rare item just a little bit. This way, the loot boxes won't become useless, basically. With that being said, if I feel like we're getting too many good items or too much gold from loot boxes, then I'll tone it down. Basically, I'll try to keep it balanced throughout the entire playthrough. And I will do this every time we complete 2 goals. It's also extra incentive for us to complete our goals too, so I think it's a good idea all round. Our corn is ready for harvest on day 45. I also collect a starfruit and some blueberries. It's also at this point that I decide to stop keeping everything I've gathered so far. My mentality was I wanted to keep all of the items just in case I need them for crafting and cooking recipes next year. But there's really no need for me to worry about any of that right now. And we're missing out on a ton of gold by keeping these items, so I throw quite a few things into my shipping bin. I get a couple of slimejack fish and a deluxe scarecrow from a loot box, which I'm happy about. I need to find another way of saying something made me happy. This playthrough is really testing my vocabulary, I won't lie. I donate a corn, a pepper, and 5 gold star corn to the community center. The rest of the day, as well as days 46 through 50, are spent in the mines collecting iron and gold ore, and clearing out space on the farm. A few notable things did happen during that period of time. I used the gold I got from selling a bunch of items to purchase all of the bundles in the vault room. This means the desert is unlocked. That is exquisite news. Gunther pays a visit to the farm and gives us the key to the sewers as a reward for donating 60 items to the museum. Now we can meet Krobus and start increasing our friendship with him. Also, I finally interact with the dwarf for the first time. I purchased 2 crocuses from the travelling cart, 1 for the shipping bin and 1 for the community centre. Finally, it is time to purchase some animals for our farm. Please welcome Gil Thunder and Hawk the chickens and Bon the duck. I also asked Robin to build a barn for us. Alright, we are back to normal on day 51. More importantly, it is Lootbox time. I'm gonna be honest, I have nothing left to ramble about while I open these loot boxes. I'm sure I'll have new topics to talk about during fall, but for now my head is empty and my brain cells have gone on vacation. The trend of receiving artifacts, fish and seeds continues with the odd piece of furniture thrown in every once in a while. I do get another tea leaf which I can throw into a keg to make green tea, so this was a successful run. I also get some ginger, which is another good pickup. I finally watch Caroline's 2-heart cutscene, which means she will send us the crafting recipe for tea saplings tomorrow morning. I get an orange in a loot box. I don't know why, but I found that funny when it happened. This was a really interesting one though. I got a spookfish, a snake skull which will be useful on Ginger Island, and a slime ball. I can't do anything with the slime ball as far as I know, but it's still a cool find. Our final loot box of summer gives us a grape starter, a hot pepper, and 2 anchovies. Anchovies? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anywhomst, we get our first eggs on day 52. I did not mean to make that sound. Yeah, we get our first eggs on day 52, so this is my favourite day so far because of that. I donate several items to the museum, ask Clint to crack open some geodes, donate more items to the museum, ask Clint to crack open more geodes, donate more items, ask Clint to open more geodes, and donate 1 more item to the museum. I am so glad I said all of that without messing up. I did not want to have to record me saying that again. Pierre's shop is still closed on Wednesdays. Just a quick update for you all in case anyone has forgotten. I know I certainly did. I donate a poppy, a maple syrup and a pomegranate to the community centre, then I plant my ancient seeds. I head into the forest and put wooden paths to connect some trees to a chest after placing tappers on the trees. Now the oak resin that is produced by these trees will automatically go into the chest. Just in case anybody wants to do this, you need to have the generic mod config menu mod installed. Say that 3 times fast. I'll have a link to this mod in the description. Scroll to the bottom of the settings menu and you will see an option called Mod Options. Click on this option, then click on Automate at the top of the list. Under the Enabled Connectors heading, you can select what flooring or paths can be used to connect things to a chest. I really hope that made sense. Also, I realized that the trees in the forest are pine trees, so I moved the tappers and chest to the bus stop so I can get oak resin from the 2 oak trees here. All of our melons are ready for harvest on day 53. Collecting all of them took a bit of time, but it was so incredibly satisfying. I sell every crop in my inventory to Pierre and purchase 25 wheat seeds. I need more wheat for the community centre. I buy the final backpack upgrade and ask Robin to upgrade our coop for the final time. I plant the wheat seeds, visit Sandy in the desert, purchase 5 beet and rhubarb seeds, and enter the Skull Caverns. I used to be terrible at going through this place, but I've done it so many times in the last few playthroughs that I am officially at the point where I am not terrible at it. With enough practice, I believe I can eventually become alright at going through the Skull Cavern. A void chicken has appeared in our coop on day 54. I call it Jeff. In a perfect world, that is the name I would give to my pet giraffe in Stardew Valley, but alas, there are no giraffes in Stardew Valley. That is deeply upsetting. I decide to connect the maple tree at the bus stop to the chest so I can get maple syrup as well as the 2 oak resin. I watch a cutscene that shows a bunch of crabs in Willie's shop. Gus shows up and says he'll take care of the crabs. Gus then tells us that he'll be having a special offer on crab cakes for the next few days. I do a bit of fishing and catch the red snapper. Then I purchase 2 lead bobbers and run to the saloon where I buy 50 crab cakes. Eating one of these gives you a +1 speed boost for basically the entire day, so it's worth buying a good few of them when they're on sale. I head to the sewers because I want to catch our second legendary fish, the mutant carp. It took so long for this fish to show up, like a really long time. But thankfully, it eventually did. I rendezvous with my friends in the saloon at the end of the night. I ask Robin to upgrade our barn on day 55. Then I spend 10,000 gold on grass starter. I did not realize it would cost that much. I regret that purchase. Francis the rabbit has joined our family. Let's all give him a warm welcome. And of course we can't forget about Lovejoy the cow either. To end the day I head to the desert where I catch a sandfish and the scorpion carp. Day 56. The final day of summer. The first thing I do is harvest the wheat that has grown. I also harvest a pineapple. Today is already a sensational day just because of that. I donate 10 wheat to the community centre and purchase a battery pack and red cabbage seeds from the travelling cart. Before summer ends, I want to give you all an update on the progress we have made in certain areas. First, we have the shipping collection. The loot boxes have really helped with this. There are quite a few items here that we wouldn't have gotten and been able to ship if we hadn't found them in loot boxes. A lot of the things we still have to ship are forage items, crops, and animal products. I am a bit worried about the radioactive bar and the banana. For the radioactive bar, I need to unlock Mr. Key's walnut room and hope we get the quest that changes the mines or the skull caverns so we can get access to radioactive ore in either of those 2 locations. For the banana, I need to unlock the island trader, collect 5 dragon teeth in the volcano dungeon, swap the dragon teeth for a banana tree sapling, and plant the sapling. Banana trees take 28 days to grow, so we need to get to Ginger Island by the middle of fall at the latest if we want to make sure we get a banana before the end of the year. Next we have the fishing collection. There's not much to say about this one. It isn't really affected by the loot boxes because finding a fish in a loot box does not add it to the collection. We still need to physically catch every fish. But we are doing pretty well. Like I said at the end of spring though, we do need to catch the legend fish after we missed it during spring, but we are good for everything else. In terms of the museum collection, this is the area that was affected by the loot boxes the most in my opinion. We're already pretty close to completing this collection thanks to all of the minerals and artifacts we found in loot boxes. I'm gonna go on record and say that we are 100% going to complete this collection before the end of winter, maybe even before the end of fall, we'll see. In terms of the community centre, we need a large goat milk or a piece of wool. Either one will do here because we only have to donate one more item to complete this bundle. Once our barn has been upgraded, I will buy a goat and that will take care of this one. We need a pumpkin and an eggplant which we can easily get in fall. That also applies to the hazelnut. We need one more fish, the tiger trout. Again, this is something we can get in fall. For the truffle, all I have to do is upgrade my barn one more time and purchase a pig, so that's really handy. If I upgrade my house, I'll have access to the kitchen and I will be able to make a fried egg and a Mackie roll. I planted an apple tree sapling during summer, so we'll get the 3 apples we need during fall. The tappers I set up will give me an oak resin in a few days, and I've got a rabbit, so that covers the rabbit's foot. Finally, I also have a duck, so that's the duck feather sorted. So I would say things are looking really good for us right now. I know we've only just finished summer, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that the loot boxes do have quite a big effect on a playthrough. I kinda saw that coming, but I didn't think it would be this good. Anyway, summer was a fantastic season for us. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens during fall.